Yo, what is going on, guys? I'm Legendary Noob here. Today we're going over the top 10 weapons in Zombsroyale. This will also include items, as they're also weapons. Why am I mentioning this? Well, because there's probably going to be somebody in the comment section going like, "Oh, noob, the Gassie's not a gun, it's an item." Well, for your information, I said the top 10 weapons. But yeah, with that out of the way, let's get into this list that is very accurate, as I've gone through spiritual research to get this hard, true information. At number 10, we have the UMP. This weapon actually melts players. Number 9 on the list, we have the Fragnade. To be fair, this isn't really good alone, but when using it with like another weapon, you can force players to go a direction. That is like the main reason why it's on here, because you have the ability to force players a direction. On number 8, we have the AR-15. This AR is absolutely insane. It has good knockback, which is good when you're fighting people on the ice and you want to get away. The damage is also pretty decent. Not amazing, but it's like to balance the gun out. So I think a lot of people understand that. The speed is very, very good. The spread, I don't mind the spread. I think the spread is amazing for its speed. It's a good AR to combo with. It's very satisfying. And I'm gonna say right now, the Scar is not on this list, and that is because it's been nerfed, and I don't think it's as good anymore. That's also like why you haven't been seeing me with the Scar in my recent videos. That's because they nerfed it, and so it's like around AR-15 level. But since this is also a little bit personal, I didn't include it on here, and I used to use the Scar because of the damage, and now that that's been nerfed, it's not really on my top 10 list anymore. Next up on the list, number 7 is the Bolt/MK. I'm just putting both of them together because it doesn't make sense to like put both of them on here. They're literally like the same weapon. If you don't know what a bolt is, basically it's a sniper. It deals around 70 damage. Yeah, it's a great weapon to combo with. I wouldn't recommend like going in a normal match and just picking up a bolt. Obviously, combos are the way to go. Just like with the frag grenade. Unless you're doing a challenge, then I mean, go ahead. Reload is when the update on the bolts and MK came, I was a little bit confused on how the reload system worked, but I got around it pretty quickly. Up next is number 6, and I'm giving that to the pump. The pump is, I think, the best shotgun, and I think a lot of people would agree with that. Close range, it is amazing. Long range, obviously, it's a shotgun, so I mean, it's not as amazing, but like even a few tiles out, it's still dealing 40 damage, which is insane. I prefer it over the raid shotgun. Even though the raid shotgun is faster velocity wise, I still prefer the faster reload on the pump. The raid shotgun's reload is a bit slow for me, and obviously as a spray macro user, it's very good. That's why pump is on here, and you guys know pump is personally gonna be number 1 for me, but since I'm also considering everybody, that's why it's number 6. Next up, number 5 is the silenced AR. This is also a weapon that I think is going to be on a lot of people's top 10 lists because it's red and it sprays. Next up is number 4, and you know, I'm not even going to go over it. It's for the exact same reasons. I should have just made it like the Bolt and MK. XMA and Silence AR, they're very similar. Next up, number 3, we have the AWP, and I actually used to call this thing AWP. I think a few people do that too. Apparently, it's called the AWP. I mean, I don't really have to say anything. It's basically a better bolt, larger field of view, and more damage. So yeah, that's why it gets number 3. I think it's high up on a lot of people's lists also. Number 2 is Dragunov, and I know this list is supposed to be like more generalized in the community, but this is a bit personal, and I want to say right now that I and Legendary Noob believe that the Dragunov is better than the AWP. For its speed, its reload system is a lot simpler to understand, and it's also fast. Oh wait, I already said that. I think that's it. I think that's it. The velocity of the bullet is better. The view is not as good, but that's why. All right, number 1. I think a lot of you guys already know what number 1 is, so I'm just gonna make another spot and say 1.5. All right, now that we have that, coming up on 1.5 is the Vector. Why did I include this? Well, because you guys are gonna bash me in the comments if I don't. Personally, I do not use the weapon, and I do not hate it. I just don't like being that player who sprays and wins a game anticlimactically. Yeah, I mean, like, for a lot of people who are going for wins, that's good, but that's not the type of player I am, so that's why I wouldn't have it on this list. But since I kind of cheated and put Dragunov above Op for my personal opinion, I'm gonna put the Vector here and be more considerate of the community and realize how many spammers there are in the game. Alright, and number one obviously is the scoped AR. I mean, it's basically an AR, but it's scoped, so better field of view, a little bit of damage increase, obviously because it's red,